with CryptoHopper, with my CryptoHopper update of the day. Reprogrammed the CryptoHopper. I'm using a strategy that I built myself to buy and sell Bitcoin only. I've removed the altcoins from this particular account, and we're going to see what happens. I am using a trailing stop loss that activates at 9% gains, and it has a 1% trail behind it that'll trigger. And I think we're going to get some pretty good results from this. I did some back testing on the strategy, and the back testing data, as you can see here, looks pretty good. Let's see, right here, I ran it from February 4th to March 4th, did the back testing on it. The average profit was 18.44% on Bitcoin, and that's pretty interesting because there were never any losses on this strategy. It was just basically a hold until the trailing stop loss would go to 9%. So once there was a 9% profit, it would activate the trailing stop loss. So if it kept going higher to 10 or 11 or 12, the trailing stop loss would follow it up. But if it dropped down 1% after the trailing stop loss was activated, then it would trigger a sell. So if it went up to 9%, the trailing stop loss was triggered, goes up to 10%, then it drops back down to 9%, then that 1% would trigger. That'd be a 1% drop backwards, which would trigger the trailing stop loss. So I'm using a strategy that I built to trade with, to do the buys, and then I'm only using the trailing stop loss to do the sells. And I built my own strategy to do the buys, which I'll show you here real quick. I'm using the 15-minute chart, and I am using these two. It's basically a MACD strategy for the buys, and I don't have the sells active, but I have the MACD 15-minute chart for the buys, and that is what I'm going with right now. And so let me go back and show you on the back testing. That's actually, just want to make sure I showed you the right one. That is this strategy right here. Well, actually, let me back up. It's this strategy right here. It's this one. Let me find it. So this one right here. It's the trailing stop loss triggered at 9% with a 1% trail that will trigger the sell when it goes backwards. Average trade was 17.29% profit. There were 181 trades between February 4th and March 4th, and there were no losses. So this is the strategy that I have running right now here that I just started today. That's what you're seeing right here. This is the first buy of that strategy. And then what I did next was I created a artificial intelligence strategy off of a couple of backtesting strategies that I have done. So that's what's called number 1 AI. So, and I will show you how that works. I'm sorry, it's this one right here, the BTC 15-minute AI. And so from February 4th to March 4th, there were 308 successful sells, average profit of 18.44%. There were no losses, and it was activated at 9% with a trail of 1% for the trigger. And so this is the AI strategy that I'm now testing in my paper account. So I'll go over here and show you this. So right here, I've got it where I've got it set up to test in my paper account. You can see right here, I've got $50,000 in there. So it will start trading that today. I just set it up, and it's Bitcoin only, and we will see how that strategy goes. But what I'm doing is I'm not going to be trading with more than 25% of my bag. So I'll put out in trades 25% of that. So That'd be, what is that? It's 25% of 50,000 at a time. Because what you want to avoid, so I'll trade with 12,500 of that amount. And the reason for that is I have the strategy that I showed you, but I also have a feature set up called DCA. So this is interesting because when Bitcoin corrects, it usually corrects, when it corrects severely, it's around the 20 to 25% range. So what I'll do is if Bitcoin decides to crash and I've got positions open, I've got it set to triple down. So if I've got $500 out there, when it triples down, it'll add another $1,000 to that position. When it drops 25% in value. And so if you have so if you're tripling down, you have a $500 position out there, let's say, when you triple down, that'll be $1,500 that's in play. And so if you've got 10 positions, you want to make sure that you've got enough money to triple down. And I'll have as many as 5 or 10 unique Bitcoin positions opened at all times. So I have to have enough money reserved to triple down when that scenario happens. And that's really when you can make a lot of money, because when it gets oversold and you've tripled down, it'll spring back the other direction and you can do real well on the rebound. And that's where a lot of people doing these auto bots tend to have issues, is they don't have reserve funds, so they can't use the dollar cost averaging tool, and they're not able to make any they're not able to get out of their positions when they go down 20, 30%. But if you've got a position that goes down 30% and you do a triple down, it only has to go back up to 10% of where it is to break even, and then from there start making a profit. So the DCA tool is very powerful, but you got to have enough self-control to leave enough money in your account so that you have, no matter how many positions you have out here, you can double or triple down on that strategy. And I'll show you the reason that I started doing that is I have a couple of other accounts. I've got accounts that I was doing altcoins with, and as you can see, most of these positions were bought when Bitcoin was making all-time highs, and then Bitcoin decided to come down from 60,000, and now I'm stuck with all these positions. And in these particular accounts, I don't have any funds in reserve, so there's no way to get out of these positions. So I've got to sit here and wait. Now I could go put more money in these accounts, but I don't want to do that yet. I could go add some funds and then triple dollar cost average out of all these positions, but instead I'm just going to let these age out. But I learned the hard way that this is why you need to have funds in your account to dollar cost average out, is because of this very thing. And the reason that you also want to set your trailing stop loss at a high percentage, like I've got here, let me show you what I'm talking about, at 9 or 10%, is because you need to be able to make a profit. So if you're down 30%, you need to figure that it can go up 30%. So when you dollar cost average down double, that means you've got 3 times the money out there in that one position. So it needs to go up 10% to be at a break-even status, and then it needs to go up another 10% for you to make any money. So you need to have your trailing stop loss set very high, because if you don't, the only thing you're going to be doing is every time you go down 30%, you're going to wait for it to get up to even, and then you're going to sell too early. And so you need to make sure and leave yourself with room on the upside for profit. So leaving enough money to dollar cost average is a huge deal if you're trading altcoins, because here's what happens. Real simple to see. You get stuck. And when you're stuck and you're out of money, the only thing you can do is you can sell all these positions and liquidate, and then you're down all this money. Whereas if you think of it the other way, all these positions are on sale right now. So if you went and double or triple down here, you would reduce that down from 30 to 10, and then the market would only have to go up 10%. You'd be even. It goes up another 10%. You're in the money, and you can have your trailing stop loss triggered, and you can sell. So that's what I'm doing now. Is I've abandoned this whole strategy. I'm restructuring all of this account, and this account. I'll never make that mistake again. So I'm never going to use more than 25 to 50% in initial positions, and the rest I'm going to hold to dollar cost average out of these positions, because it sucks to have to sit here and look at this when Bitcoin's moving up and the market's moving up, and then you're just sitting here, you're stuck with positions like this. This is when most people quit, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trade differently. So I will try to post videos daily of my progress. I'm most excited about this because this is a live account. This is not paper. This is $10,000 roughly, and I want to be able to, when this number here on Bitcoin goes down to 20 or 30% because the market took a hit, I'm going to be doing my doubling and tripling down on the dollar cost averaging, and then I'm going to ride that up, and then I'm going to have my trailing stop loss trigger, and I'm going to sell for a profit every time and not lose any money getting out of positions that I put too much in going in initially, and then I am down too much. So small positions, 500, I can then, if Bitcoin tanks once again, if it goes down 30%, I can put another $1,000 here, and then it only has to go up 10%. And the other thing about Bitcoin is its daily volatility is 5.44%. So Bitcoin goes in a range of about 5%, just daily volatility, 5-6%. So you know, I'm expecting on this strategy the average trade for the month of trades was going to be about 3 days, which is what the back testing says. So anyway, very excited about this. The next few videos should be a lot of fun to talk about the progress or lack thereof. So that's it for now. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we can learn some things together here and make some money. Thank you.